Hello, welcome in. It's Shaped by Kate. Today's yoga flow is a strong and simple sun salutation. Let's roll down to our backs, starting on the earth in our yoga practice. Since we will be working through salutations, our theme today will be focus and clarity. These salutations will be a great way if your work or life ever become too high stressful or too distracting and you need something to realign that focus. Let's breathe in through the nose, lengthened legs, and arms above your head. Think about your ankles and wrists being pulled away from each other, allowing an openness in the abdomen. As you breathe out, we're hugging the knees into our chest and kiss your forehead towards your knees. They don't have to touch, just reaching. Palms or forearms wrapped around the shin bones. Find an inhale-exhale breath there. And then go ahead and just set the head gently back down on your mat. Keep the knees hugging in closely to the belly. I want you to be feeling that hip flexor stretch. Sometimes too, it's a long muscle, that hip flexor. So if you sway from left to right, you can move that stretch a little bit more dynamically. This leads us to our next movement, knee circles. Going in opposite direction, draw a circle with your knees into the ceiling. After a couple rounds, reverse the direction. Coming away from our backs, clasp the hands behind the knees. Inhale, shift your weight back, lifting your tailbone. Exhale, rock forward. Do that 1 or 2 more times. As you rock fully forward, cross at the ankles, set the knees down, uncross the legs, and walk it back to tabletop. In tabletop, find cat-cow. If that transition feels a little too fancy, rather than crossing at the ankles, you can just sweep your legs to the left or the right. In your cat-cow, close your eyes and find freedom and movement with how your body is feeling today, bringing your focus to your breathing and a purposeful, mindful movement. Opening up the wrists. Next time you find a flat back, pivot the fingers to face the knees, wrists facing forward. Rock forward and back, opening up the wrists. This should be a gentle stretch. To counter pose, flip one back hand to the earth, round the spine, find cat spine. Breathe in and out. Switch sides. Bring both palms back to the earth, fingers facing forward, curl toes under, lift from the hips, find first downward facing dog. Closing the eyelids, bringing that focus again back to what feels good, and find a purposeful movement and purposeful breath. Examples of this are pedaling the heels, bending and straightening the legs, or twisting your gaze from left to right. Next movement, lift the heels in your downward facing dog, bend at the knees, gaze forward. Take a couple steps and flatten out your back, half lift. Breathe out and round the spine, find first forward fold. Generous bent knees if that's needed. Inhale, roll to standing, find mountain pose. Now we're ready to start our sun salutations. From standing, breathe in and reach your arms above your head. Exhale, twist to the right, left arm forward, right hand back, lifting the right knee with you. Arms are either lengthened or hugging at the body, opposite arm to opposite leg. Right hand on right hip. Then trying to turn the chin towards your shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, straighten the legs and arms, look forward. Exhale, twist the other side. Now looking to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. Left foot comes off the ground, then bend the knee. No need to twist at the neck if there's too much stress there. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, swan dive to your forward fold. Next breath in, flatten out your spine, find half lift. Keep the back flat, plant the hands, step the toes into a plank form. Find a round of breath in plank pose. In chaturanga, we're going to hold the pose. If it's difficult, bring knees to the mat. Inhale, shift forward. Big exhale, chaturanga. Breathe out all the air. Then lower the belly to the earth, inhaling to lift the gaze and heart back up, cobra. Taking a break from the wrists, palms come away from the earth. Then when you're ready to breathe out again, hands come to the earth to find downward facing dog. Hips lift, back flattens. Lift both heels. Bend the knees generously. Take a big step this time to half lift. Try to keep it just to one step. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift to your upward salute. Let's add a few things to our flow. Exhale, twist to the right. Lifting right heel or foot. Twist goes all the way up your spine. Turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist other side. Left heel or foot lifting from the earth. Inhale, square shoulders to the front of your mat. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold, Uttanasana. Hold and breathe deeply in. Breathe deeply out. Breathe in, find half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and heel toe the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Palms reach for the earth. This time we'll bend both knees and elbows. Knees touch the back of your arms. Then as you step into plank, you'll re-lengthen your arms, finding plank pose, Phalakasana. Shift forward, prep for Chaturanga. Exhale, bend the elbows, optional knees on the earth. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Releasing any tension in the chest or biceps, pressing the heart forward. Then exhale. Press the heart back, find downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This time in our down dog, let's bring the feet close together and take a half or full step in. If this rounds your spine, send that roundness to your legs because we'll bend our knees anyway. This allows your back to stay flat, focusing on pulling the vertebrae apart in a nice long line. Inhale, lift both heels, squeezing together. Bend at the knees, look to the top of your mat. Take a step or hop, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, melting belly to thighs, Uttanasana, looking towards the back of your mat. Inhale, upward salute or Urdhva Hastasana. Adding on to your flow, exhale, twist. This time when you lift the right leg, keep it lengthened, reaching forward, elongating your twist. Remembering to reach your chin back. Breathe in, return to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, twist other side. Left leg reaches forward. It's okay if you lose focus or lose balance and need to redo the twist. If you need a little bit of time to turn the gaze, take your time to turn your gaze to your shoulder. Inhale, back to upward salute. Exhale, swan dive, Uttanasana. Take a breather here. Let's add in a new pose. When you breathe in, find Ardha Uttanasana. Heel toe to the feet to the outer edges of your mat, toes out, heels in. Sit the hips down, shine your chest forward, and find Malasana or Yogi Squat. Pressing palms together, heart center, knees hug into the arms. If you have a block or pillow, place it under the glutes to take weight away from the knees. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, lift the hips, plant the hands, step out to plank. Try holding Chaturanga with the knees lifted. Inhale, prep, shift forward. Exhale, bend the elbows. Exhale all the way out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, flip to the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Hips move first, lifting them high enough so that there's space to curl the toes back under. Flatten out your back, downward facing dog. Re-find your narrow down dog. Bring the feet together. Take a half or full step in. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Look forward. This time if you haven't hopped yet, hop the feet forward, lifting the hips high, landing in half lift. Exhale to fold. Continuing to add on to our salutation. Breathe in, reach your arms to the sky. This time when we exhale, we're just going to hug our right knee into our chest and hug it close to our belly, opening up the hip flexors. Keep your standing leg straight. Gaze is forward. See how close that thigh can come to your belly. Doesn't matter how close that thigh is to the belly. What matters is feeling the stretch in your hip flexor. Next movement, we're going to hold onto that knee with just one hand, either above or below the knee joint, and open it out to the right, opening the inner thigh. Standing leg stays facing forward. Bring the right leg back to center. And switch hands, so left hand wraps around the outer edge, and let's find a standing supine spinal twist. Activate the left palm against the leg, and then maybe lengthen that leg in front of you. If it feels too high, lower the leg a little bit. Good, drop it down, come back to center. Let's switch to the other side. Inhale, hug the left knee into your chest. Hug it close to your belly. Taking note for your progression how close the thigh is to your belly. For my people with more flexible hip flexors, it's like you're trying to hug the knee towards your chin. Now bring the same hand to your knee and open it out to the side. Right palm is reaching to the right just to help balance. Then bring it back to center. Opposite hand to outer edge of the knee, find a standing supine twist. Maybe you lengthen that leg. Can be super straight or super bent. Breathing with control, come back to center, find mountain pose. We'll now be adding on a new pose to our practice. We're going to be finding Malasana or yogi squat at the middle of our mat. So once you're in the middle of the mat, find a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. If you haven't already, widen the stance out, toes out, heels in. Sit the hips down, find yogi squat, bringing any props that are needed. Breathe in and out. Think about what makes you strong. From Malasana, lift the hips again to find half lift, and we'll turn the toes to face the front of a mat. So kind of be like a narrow Malasana stance. So when you sit down, you'll feel that narrowness, and you'll want to lift your heels. Go ahead and allow that to happen. Heels lift, and plant the hands in front of you. Then bend the elbows generously like in your chaturanga, and squeeze and hug the knees to the outer edges of your triceps or back of the arms. Then inhale to lift the hips, shift your weight a little bit forward onto the palms. As you shift forward, test out how much weight you want on the palms. If you want to stay here, or lift the heels, shifting more weight to the palms. All of these are variations to crow pose. Test out what it feels like to fly forward. So a lot of times we want to look back at our toes or our knees. Keep the gaze forward in front of the hands. Shift forward, bend the elbows, creating a little shelf for your knees, and then the toes will just float off the earth, and you'll find crow pose. Even though there's strength in this pose, a lot of it is just testing out and playing around with your center of gravity. Even if you're not flying forward, I want you in that crow stance, soles of the feet on the ground, so you get used to that inversion and crow pose. Since this is an arm balance, so whenever you need to take a break, come back to Malasana, roll out the wrists, breathe. Nice job, you are so strong. Let's move on and find our plank pose again. You count on your own. From plank, shift forward, hold your chaturanga dandasana, breathing for about 2 rounds of breath. Third inhale is an upward facing dog. Then shift back to your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Adjust your feet to your narrow downward facing dog. Feet together, the inner edges of the feet should be squeezing together. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Look to the top of the mat. Hips lift up like they're trying to stack over your shoulders. Plant the feet, find half lift. Exhale, round Uttanasana. Inhale, rise. Find freedom in your flow. You can find mountain pose or upward salute. We're heading to our forward fold, half lift, and Malasana. Take your time. As you're headed there, think about your crow pose and flying forward. There's a benefit to that mental imagery in your mind, even if you don't ever want to actually do the flying crow. Alright, from Malasana, I want you to round your spine and walk your hands forward, like your child's pose arms. Really find a reach and a roundness in your body. Reach and hold and breathe. Then with this reach, let's add in a wrist warm-up. Curl your fingers into a fist, and then set the knuckles down onto your yoga mat and press your wrist forward, and then just start to roll those knuckles into the earth. Find little wrist circles. Alright, same thing, but we'll do this in our crow pose stance. Lift hips, flatten out the back, turn the toes to face the front of your mat. Exhale to bend the knees, lift the heels, reach the hands forward. Round the spine again. Get used to those knees being really high at the back of your arms. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, bend the elbows. Look forward. Lift the hips. This will naturally pull the palms back, and you can also find space to set the heels down. Good, come back to reaching the arms forward, hips down. Do that again, lift the hips, pulling the palms back. Knees shift to the outer edges of your arms and squeeze in. Weight to your palms. Lift the heels. Imagine yourself flying forward. Keep gaze in front of the hands. If those toes are lifted, then you can hug them together. I'll show you again the modified version. Whole sole of the foot is on the earth. Weight is in your feet. Remember, you don't have to break your wrists or do an arm balance if that's not part of your yoga practice. This is a great inversion. Inversions are really great for the winter time to prevent any illnesses or sicknesses. If you have your feet floating, set the feet down. Shift weight forward from this crow pose. We're going to exhale. Step your least dominant leg and extend it back to the back of your mat. Followed by the other, landing in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. You should land in chaturanga because your elbows are already bent from crow pose. Alright, from upward facing dog, take a break in downward facing dog. Flatten out your spine. Take weight away from the palms. Find your narrow downward facing dog. We'll add a move here. From downward facing dog, we're going to find a three-legged dog, but rather with our leg lifting, our arm is going to lift. So really squeeze those feet together, shifting weight to your feet and right hand. Then inhale to exhale, left hand slides and reaches for your right ankle or right calf. Gaze remains either at the middle of your mat or looking underneath your armpit. Steady breath, and then come back to your narrow downward facing dog. Taking a break from being on our palms, let's lift the heels, bend the knees, hop to our half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale when you're ready, mountain pose or upward salute. Breathe in and out through the mouth. Take a big breather, finding our flow again. Tuck the chin, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Malasana. Collapse the chest, round the spine in Malasana. Walk your hands forward, child's pose arms. Finding that deep roundness to open up the shoulders. Activating knees against the body. Find mindful thoughts in your practice. Think about a crow pose. Think about flying forward. Think about what makes you strong. Bring the hands back in. Lift hips, half lift. Face the toes to the front of your mat. Exhale, bend the knees and reach your arms forward. Heels lifted to find space for the hips to lower. Child's pose arms. Round the spine. Hug knees to body. Keeping the knees where they're at. Bend the elbows. Let them hit the front of your kneecaps. Palms are extended out. Lift the hips, keeping that knee to arm connection. Rock forward and back. Practice shifting and playing around with your center of gravity. You choose what kind of crow pose you want for your yoga practice. We are at home, so if you want to bring a couch cushion or a pillow in front of the face, if there's a fear of falling forward, add in props. If there's a need for more time, pause the video. We're all on our own path, which is why everyone's yoga practices will look different. When you're ready to move on, set the soles of the feet down on your mat, shift your weight forward. Keep your chaturanga arms. Extend now your more dominant leg out to the back of your mat, followed by the other, finding chaturanga. I'm showing this at a slower pace, but you can quicken it. Crow, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhaling, resting in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's find the other side, three-legged dog. Feet together, weight in the feet, and weight shifting to the left hand this time. Breathe in and out. Breathe in again, prepare. Exhale, slide or reach that right hand towards your left ankle or left calf. Okay, it can be kind of a sticky scooting back. When you catch hold and find tension, that tension will help balance you in your three-legged dog. Gaze is either down or turning out to the left in a twist. Nice job. Breathe in, come back to down dog, lift the heels, bend the knees, hop, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, come to standing. Well done. You've just finished your last sun salutation. You have shown so much strength today. Go ahead and take a child's pose or an alternate comfortable position. Starting to now reflect over your practice. If there's ever a time in your life where you need something to remember what makes you strong, think back on this practice. If you ever need something to help you focus or find a little bit more mental clarity, come back to this practice, either in just remembrance or find similar moves. We've done a lot of hip work, so in child's pose, if you want to switch up the stance, lift the chest, widen out the knees to the outer edges of the mat, big toes together, sink belly in between your inner legs, find wide child's pose. And I've done a lot with my arms today, so I'm going to fold them and rest my forehead in my forearms. But you take whatever stance feels the most comfortable. Continue your reflection. Let's take about 8 to 10 rounds of breath in silence. Beautiful moment of breathing and silence. Let's lift the head and come into a comfortable seated position. Excellent demonstration of strength, focus, and mental clarity. Bring hands to heart center. With that in mind, take your bow forward as respect to your yoga practice. Namaste. Thank you so much. It's shaped by Kate. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.